Red alert at Arsenal. Jude Bellingham reveals Real Madrid's plans for the decisive Champions League clash and threatens the Gunners' dreams. Plus, Saudi League ready to steal Arsenal's underrated £70 million target. All this and more you can check out now with the top Arsenal news directly from Emirates Stadium. So make sure to like the video and check your subscription so you don't miss any updates. And without further ado, let's get started. Arsenal made a massive statement last week with that dominant 3-0 win over Real Madrid in the first leg of the Champions League quarterfinals. It was one of those nights where everything just clicked, and let's be honest, that free kick double from Declan Rice. Absolute madness. The man was on fire, and then there was Mikel Merino pulling off a finish that looked like something straight out of the Dennis Bergkamp highlight reel. Pure class. Now, the boys are gearing up for the second leg at the Bernabeu, and yeah, it's gonna be a whole different beast. Real Madrid at home, backs against the wall. They're gonna come out swinging. You can bet on that. Jude Bellingham's already started the mind games. He spoke to the media ahead of the clash, dropping a little warning for Arsenal, basically saying Madrid's got a plan and they're not coming to just roll over, so it's clear. This second leg is gonna be war, but we've got the lead, we've got the momentum, and if the lads show up like they did in the first leg, we've got every reason to believe we're heading to the semis. Jude Bellingham says Real Madrid want to show they can play much better against Arsenal. Bellingham has claimed that Real were nowhere near their best at the Emirates Stadium and stressed that they intend to play to their full potential on Wednesday night. When asked by Sport what Real planned to do to turn the tie around, Bellingham said, "It has to be much better than what we saw in the first game."
I'd like to ask you about the most repeated word in the changing room during these days.
Remontada. Honestly, I've heard it about a million times since last week. I've seen a million videos online and made by fans, made by kind of you guys, I suppose, and yeah, really motivating stuff. It's a night that's made for Real Madrid, a night that would go down in history, but also be something that people are familiar with around this part of the world. So. Yeah, hopefully we can add another special night. It's a weird environment at the minute. The last few days, it's like one of the worst results we could possibly imagine away, and for some reason everyone thinks it's nailed on that we'll come back, and it's a nice feeling, I have to say. It means there's a lot of trust in the talent. It means that you're at a club that's unlike no other, the best in the world. That's what it represents and signifies to me. So yeah, there's a pressure that comes along with that for sure, and we'll want to deliver on what everyone thinks, that we can come back, and there's an expectation from Real Madrid that when we get into these kind of holes that we can come back, even if it's a really tough one and a really difficult one. I think probably in England it's not as common, although it has happened as well. I think Liverpool did it a couple of years back before they got to the final or something like that, or they won it. So yeah, it's just because the club have done it so many times, and that's what's so impressive about the size of this club. After the game, it's normally really tough. You have the kind of few moments after you've got to do the press. You're sitting around on your own where, you know, you do think that it's going to be difficult, it's going to be tough, and then the more you get speaking to the other lads and you see how confident they are, the more it kind of rubs off on you. The lads that have experienced these kind of nights before, it rubs off. Like I said before, it's infectious, and you know, it makes you a lot more confident, a lot more comfortable with the situation you're in, about the people you're going into the situation you're in. So yeah, for us it was pretty much immediate. So by the time we was back on the coach, we was all not in good spirits, obviously, but realised that we could still be in the competition.
Some squad updates ahead of the big second leg, and yeah, not all of it is good news for us. Jorginho won't be making the trip to Madrid. He limped off during that frustrating 1-1 draw against Brentford, and Arteta already confirmed it. He's not here. Bit of a blow, especially considering his experience in big European nights. But there's a bit of light too. Thomas Partey is good to go, and that's huge. We all know what he brings when he's fit and firing. Ben White had a bit of a scare recently as well, but word is he should be fine and ready to start, which is a relief for sure. On the flip side, we're still missing a few key names. Gabriel Jesus, Gabriel Magalhaes, Kai Havertz, Takahiro Tomiyasu, and Ricardo Calafiori are all ruled out with injuries. That's a lot of talent sidelined, no doubt, but the squad's shown resilience all season, and we'll need every bit of it at the Bernabeu. As for Madrid, they've got some shifting pieces too. Eduardo Camavinga is suspended. Big loss for them, especially since he was their standout player against Alaves. But they do get Aurelien Tchouameni back after suspension, and Dani Ceballos is also available again after shaking off an injury. And yeah, Raheem Sterling could be back in the mix too after missing the first leg due to suspension. So both sides are juggling absences and returns. It's not gonna be easy, never is in Madrid, but the Gunners are going in with belief. Let's back the lads all the way. Arsenal have made an enquiry to sign 23-goal striker who's already decided to leave his club this summer. Jonathan David might just be the name we'll be hearing a lot more around the Emirates soon. The Canadian striker, still only 25, has been quietly building a seriously impressive record over at Lille. 107 goals in 227 appearances, and 23 of those Vieramso Nesta temporada. That's some consistency right there. But here's the real story. His time at Lille looks like it's about to wrap up. His contract's running down, and unless algo muda drasticamente, he's gonna walk away on a free transfer Proximos Maces. And guess who's right in the mix? That's right, Arsenal. According to a report coming out of Italy via Sempre Inter, they were likely digging into Inter Milan's interest. It turns out the Gunners are one of the main clubs pushing hard for David. Apparently, we've already stepped things up a notch and made contact with his camp to explore a potential move. Bayern Munich are also sniffing around, but it sounds like Arsenal are properly in the race. Now, no official contract offer has been made yet, at least not according to the report, but the interest from Arsenal seems to be very real. With the summer window approaching, things could heat up fast. And let's not forget, it's not just at club level that David's delivering. He's also bagged 32 goals in 61 games for the Canadian national team. The guy's clearly got the eye for goal, and with his age, experience, and profile, he feels like someone ready to make that jump to a bigger stage. Could we be seeing him in red and white next season? Too early to say, but the signs are promising. One to keep an eye on for sure. David Ornstein says £50 million player wants to leave quickly after meeting with Arsenal and Liverpool. We're heading towards the summer transfer window, and there could well be some big moves within the Premier League this summer. Indeed, some top Premier League players could be on the market come the end of the season. Alexander Isak has been linked to Arsenal and Liverpool. Matheus Cunha could be on the move, while a number of top clubs want to sign Liam Delap. There could also be moves on the defensive front too. Dean Huijsen has been linked to a number of top clubs recently, and according to David Ornstein, speaking to NBC, Huijsen wants to get his next move lined up as quickly as possible. David Ornstein, as always, has brought more details about Dean Huijsen's situation and what's happening in the market. According to the journalist, Huijsen has a £50 million release clause in his contract with Bournemouth, and this is already catching the attention of some of the biggest clubs in the Premier League. Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea, Newcastle, and Tottenham all are in the race. Recently, several of these clubs have already had meetings with the players' representatives, and of course this is generating a lot of excitement. Ornstein confirmed that the interest is massive, which only adds more pressure to the negotiations. Furthermore, he also mentioned that both Huijsen and Bournemouth want the deal to be completed quickly. The player is ready to take the next step in his career, and the club is also willing to make the transaction swiftly. So it's almost certain that Huijsen will be leaving Bournemouth soon. But the question now is, which Premier League giant will secure his future? It looks like this summer is going to be busy, and Arsenal certainly needs to keep an eye on this. If they manage to secure Huijsen, it would be a major addition to further strengthen our defense. Let's wait for the next moves. Well folks, those were the main news for today. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated on everything happening with our beloved team, you know what to do. Subscribe to the channel now and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any updates. Thanks for joining us, and until the next video.